Good morning, Enid. Good to see you once again. It is 7:30 on this Thursday, June 28th. Thank you for joining us. Grab a cup of coffee, if you will, for the next 30 minutes. We're going to provide news, weather, sports, and we have a special guest and a very special topic today that you want to stay in tune for. It's going to be a warm day. We'll have weather for you, complete weather in just a few moments. We are live streaming around the globe, so we want to welcome all of our folks around the globe watching this morning, and also locally here on Channel 12 and 112 in Enid. This is Good Morning Enid. It's time to rise and shine.
Good morning, Enid. Thanks again for joining us today. It's going to be a pretty hot one, so good news for everyone. The pool is open, and it's going to hit a high of 101 today, so we should definitely go and hit up that pool. Today, it's currently 75 degrees. Tonight's low is 77. There are winds out of the south side, 10 to 15 miles an hour, so pretty low wind, which is not great for this high heat. And there is a heat advisory in effect from 1 p.m. until 9 p.m., so definitely watch out, drink lots of water, and stay hydrated.
That's that furnace effect with the breeze.
Yeah.
You know. So now you heard Erin, Sara. She said,
yes.
Forget work, forget what you're doing.
Yeah.
The pool's open.
Let's go to the pool.
Go to the pool today. It's 101.
That's awesome. That's a great way to start this weekend. So for those of you that are looking to make some great plans this weekend, here is your weather for the next 3 days. We're going to stay pretty hot, as you can see. So definitely a great time to take advantage of that pool, like Erin was talking about. If you want to make a stop, it's open.
Looks like we're going to need a sweatshirt or something on Sunday. Down to 92, getting cold. Well, some of the statewide temps, let's see. Well, it's quite obvious it's going to probably be in the 70s across the state. And, at Forgan, out in the Panhandle, is at 66. But typically, Oklahoma's about the same in temperature-wise, all the way down to Fillmore at 73, Fairland and northeastern part of the state at 76. So all across the state in the 70s, except way out west. And again, highs near 100 across the state. Well, it's 7:32. We appreciate you joining us for show number 176 on Good Morning Enid. And in case you missed the news and need to be caught up on news and sports and what's happening in regards to the national news, we turn to one guy, and that's Derrick Silas, the bow tie guy with the Oklahoma Minute.
Well, in national news, the U.S. Supreme Court upholds President Trump's administration travel ban. And yesterday, Justice Anthony Kennedy announced his retirement from the U.S. Supreme Court effective July 31st. In state news, Oklahomans voted to approve the state-sanctioned use of medical marijuana, and the Oklahoma governor's race, Mick Cornett and Kevin Stitt advanced to the runoff for the GOP nomination, and Drew Edmondson secures the Democratic nomination. And in sports, Game 2 of College World Series was yesterday. Oregon State's get a win 5-3 over Arkansas. Game 3 will be tonight. Here's a fun fact. Oklahoma City has an American Pigeon Museum. It provides history of the bird's role in both World Wars I and II and includes pigeon-themed paintings, sculptures, and live flight shows. And on this day in history, in 1953, workers assembled the first Corvette in Flint, Michigan. And that's the Oklahoma Minute.
Very good. Thank you very much for that information, Derrick, and welcome back to the show. Since you weren't here last week, we all missed you. We do want to go over some very important heat information since it is going to be a really hot weekend. For those of you who have children or have a pet, make sure you do not forget them in the car. It's very important to keep them safe and keep them cool during this weekend. And actually during the summer, since it looks like it's going to be a pretty hot one.
Even if it's 5 minutes, I'm just going to run in the store real quick and come back. That 5 minutes turned into 12 minutes, so.
Yes.
Good advice, Sara.
Definitely. And if you're looking for something big to do this special weekend, here is Erin with what's happening.
Thanks, Sarah. There's actually a ton in store, especially with 4th of July being next week. Starting us off is the State Games of Oklahoma tennis tournament. This is at the Oakwood Country Club from Friday through Sunday. Even though it's going to be hot, this will be really fun to watch. It's the first State Games event in Enid ever. And this began in 1983. It's open to all amateur athletes, young, old, people who've played before, and beginners. Anyone can play in it. They have all different kinds of sports in the summer games. They have tennis, archery, baseball, track, soccer, all different kinds of sports. And they have men's and women's singles and doubles. So if you're interested in watching tennis, definitely go check this out at Oakwood Country Club. Then on Saturday, we have for our kids, Enid Noon Ambucks Mud Volleyball. It's at Scooters. And the team fees are $375 for 6 players. It starts at 8 a.m. for the registration, and the games begin at 9 a.m. It benefits Enid Miracle League and ABC Park. There will be food trucks, cash prizes, frozen t-shirt contests, and it is the 7th annual one that they have had in Enid at Scooters. So it's definitely really fun if you're interested in volleyball, which I love volleyball. It's one of my favorite sports. I played it back in high school. So definitely want to go check this out because I will probably be there at least watching. Then this 4th of July, which is on Wednesday, there is a ton of events going on. There's the Liberty Federal Fishing Derby from 5:30 a.m. until 12 o'clock p.m. It's open to all ages as long as you have a license. $5 per tagged fish and $100 for the largest catfish caught. Then after that, there's the hometown celebration at Leonardo's. It starts at 10 a.m. and includes lunch, and the admission is all day to the museum. It is $5 for members and $9 for everyone else. And then finally, there is the City of Enid Independence Day celebration at Meadow Lake Park. There will be the train, carousel, and Ferris wheel open. The music by the Enid Symphony starts at 8:30 p.m. and the fireworks display is at 9:30 p.m. So definitely go see that. And that is what's happening today and this weekend.
Very good. A lot of activities.
Yes.
So when we get to July 4th, Sarah, you know what that means?
Christmas.
It's like Christmas. Well, yeah, there's so many shopping days of Christmas, but it also means like 90-some days till college football kicks off. Oh, can't wait. Can't wait. I just thought I'd share that with you since Sarah's such a big football fan. Erin, thank you very much. Great job. It's 7:37. As Erin mentioned earlier this morning, we're working our way up to 101 degrees today, so be careful. Take care of the pets, the kids, stay in the shade. And it's going to feel like a furnace because for our friends out at Vance, the winds are going to be from the southwest, 10 to 15 today. So keep that in mind as you prepare for this Thursday, June 28th. 4th of July is just days away, as we mentioned, and we have a little video clip that we want to show you. And after that, we have a very special topic to share with you. It's 7:39 on this Thursday morning. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us on Good Morning Enid. And Sarah, just how you doing? You're another expectant mom. You seem to be full of energy. You're doing well in pregnancy?
Yes, I am, Steve.
Okay.
I'm doing very good, actually.
That may be more information that we wanted to share, but I just happened to glance over there, and Sarah
I
seems
probably
to be...
will not be doing good later on today and tomorrow due to this weather, but yeah.
All right. Well, you look great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, our special guest this morning here at 7:39 here at the Enid Television Network studio is Captain Gary Fuxa. Captain, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate you having
Thank
us.
you.
We have we have a lighthearted show, but we have a very serious topic this morning, and we
Yes, it
appreciate
is.
you being here with us. And we kind of have a tag team event, so here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so we definitely do appreciate you coming and speaking about this really important topic, which I think is becoming just more real every single day. How would you define an active shooter situation?
Well, it's a very unfortunate incident, and it's unfortunately plaguing our society, our mankind. It is an event where you have an individual or individuals actively engaged in killing people or attempting to kill people in a populated area.
Captain, I've noticed that at our church services, we've always had a security guard, if you will, but they've been more visible, I've noticed, in the last year, before and after services. And I understand that the Enid Police Department is involved in church surveys. And so can you kind of define what church survey is? Or I may not have the right term, but...
we do security surveys.
Okay,
and we've been doing
surveys.
these for several years now.
Okay.
We'll come to your business, your facility. We've been doing this for schools and businesses for several years.
And churches? Or
And churches,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
But we'll go in and we'll do a site survey, and we'll make any recommendations on what you can do to make your facility safer, to make it less of a target. We'll also talk about active shooter protocols, things that you can do to help increase people's survival rates. And that is by having medical supplies on hand. We'll talk about what to do, what not to do when law enforcement arrives. That's very important. And we'll talk about post activities, what to do after the event.
Okay. And just for anybody watching this morning, that's something that's upon request, correct?
Yes.
They'll just contact you?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Is there something called active shooter protocol? And are there any common sense steps to take in this situation?
The Department of Homeland Security several years ago developed a template for citizens' response to an active shooter. It's simply run, hide, fight. And these three words sum up our thought process should we ever be involved in one of these type of events. Can you run from safety, or can you run to safety from the danger? If you can, great. If you can't, can you shelter in place? Can you barricade your area? Are there areas that will provide you protection from gunfire? This is the best case scenario. If you shelter in place and you can get into a location that affords you protection from gunfire and the suspect can't get to you, that's great. But the likelihood of that happening it's fairly low. So that leaves fight. Are you willing, are you able to fight for your life and for the lives of those that may be around you?
That kind of leads into my next question about those three key words, run, hide, and fight. And to take this a step further on Sarah's question about common sense, what can you elaborate on, or maybe what are some more common sense steps?
Well,
let's just say that you're maybe in a mall environment, you know, if we could focus on that for a moment. What would you consider these common sense steps? Because we're there to shop.
right.
You know, the last thing in our mind is run, hide, and fight kind of deal. So.
And for some people, it's tough. But situational awareness, being aware of your surrounding, what's going on around you is really, really important. This will help you make the right decision at the right time. This is something that we teach police officers. They have to constantly evaluate and monitor their environment as they go out their day. And for some, it's hard to do at first, but it's something that you've got to constantly have going on in the back of your mind. Say you enter a mall, okay? Where are the nearest exits? How many exits are there? Are there any areas that will protect you from gunfire? You know, situational awareness is something that will allow us to make the right decision at the right time. And just to elaborate a little bit, you know, the weapon of choice on a lot of these incidents happens to be a firearm, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Any tool, any weapon can be used, vehicles, explosives, and that's something that we're starting to see now as a trend. You know, noxious gases, knives, anything like that that can cause great bodily injury or death can be utilized.
Right.
Good morning, Enid. It's 7:45, working our way up temperature-wise to 101 degrees today. So again, dress accordingly and be careful with the heat. And as Erin told us earlier this morning, and Sarah's excited about this, the pool is open. So Champlain Pool will be open at 12 noon today. So keep that in mind.
And to continue on with this interview, I know that recently you hear so many stories from heroes from like shooting situations, and you hear about them on TV. I would imagine this is easier for some people than others.
Sure.
I know that when I think of being in a situation like that, I don't think I could be capable of anything but freak out.
Right.
So are there any classes available of how individuals can learn, or how individuals can learn more info to, I guess, better be prepared for something like this?
Well, there are a lot of resources out there for active shooter. When we do our presentations, we go over some of those. We try to get people connected with those resources. Emergency action plans are big, especially for businesses and schools, and most of them have those plans. But if you don't, we can help you develop them. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of resources out there that we can get you connected to, and they can tailor those plans to your specific facility. If you've got a plan, you've got to train with it. It's just like a fire drill. It's just like a tornado drill. If you don't train on it, you're not going to be efficient at it. And that's something that's really important. You've got to train on it, and train it until you break it. And if you do get very good, the training is going very smooth, increase the complexity. Because as the years are progressing and we see these incidents occur, we're studying them, and they're evolving. And as a result, our training, our response is going to have to evolve as well. So by looking at the past and applying the lessons learned, we can gain a better understanding of what we need to do for the future.
Captain, we can spend a couple hours on this topic, and we need to bring our interview to a close. Let's talk about, just very at the end, how can people reach out to you? What's the best way to contact you? We're going to make time where we can talk a lot more about this topic in the future.
Okay.
But how can people reach out to you?
They can call the police station. Our non-emergency number is 242-7000.
Okay.
They can ask for me. They can also email me. My email is gfuxa@enid.org.
Very good. Captain Gary Fuxa, thank you so much for being here. It's a very serious topic,
Yes.
but we appreciate you shedding light on it. So
You
thank
bet.
you very much. It's 7:48, and now it's time, I believe, to hear from our good friend Kevin Brisky at the CNB Center and talk about some of the events that are coming up. It's 7:48. Good morning, Enid.
Welcome inside the Central National Bank Center. I'm the General Manager, Kevin Brisky, and a lot going on starting this Saturday. Newsboys, the United Tour, right here at the Central National Bank Center. Show starts at 6 o'clock. It's going to be 3 hours of music, praise and worship, entertainment, as they put on a great show. It's not just about the music. It's about the experience that they provide. 2 opening bands, then Newsboys. It's their United Tour, so it'll have the 4 current members with the 2 original members for one great night of praise, worship, music, and entertainment. So we're really looking forward to that. That's this Saturday, 6 p.m. Tickets are still available. They start at $27 for groups of 10 or more, only $20. So looking forward to that event to wrap up June. Then in August, we have Lone Star coming on August 2nd. Tickets for that start at $29. Lone Star, the country group that kind of crossed over to pop with their song Amaze. They also have a bunch of other #1 country hits. Going to be a lot of fun, and that's right here at the Central National Bank Center on Thursday, August 2nd. August 4th and August 5th, we have a really neat event coming up. It's Enid Comic-Con, the first one here in Enid. Tickets are only $10 a day. There's going to be toys, comics, games, gaming rooms, cosplay contests, you name it. Going to be a weekend of fun. That's Saturday and Sunday, August 4th and 5th. It's a family-friendly event. Only $10 a day, you don't want to miss it. And then on September 23rd, a country legend coming to the stage at the Central National Bank Center. That's Ronnie Milsap. 40 #1 hits, only 2 country artists have more than that. Tickets for that show start at just $39. And then for the kids or grandkids on November 27th and 28th, it's Paw Patrol for 3 shows. 6 p.m. on Tuesday the 27th. On November 28th, 2 shows, one at 10 a.m., one at 6 p.m. The family, the kids are going to love that. It's the hit, craze, popular kids show these days, so you don't want to miss that right here at the Central National Bank Center. So we have a full lineup, more to come. We'll actually have another announcement coming up the night of the Newsboys show, so stay tuned for that and a lot more coming here in the next few months. Until then, tickets, cnbcenter.com, 855-TICKS-ENID, or just stop down and see us, 2nd floor of Convention Hall of the Central National Bank Center for any information or ticket needs you have. Until next time, we'll send it back into the studio with you, Steve.
Great job, Kevin. We appreciate what you do over at the CNB Center. 7:50 on this Thursday, June 28th. Month of June is gone. July is around the corner. You can see we have a couple more special guests. We have some interns. If you're interested in the intern program at the City of Enid, we'll learn about their involvement here at the city. But we want to go back to the news with Derrick, Silas, and the Bowtie Guy for all the latest updates that happened overnight. Let's do that now.
Thank you, Steve. In national news, the U.S. Supreme Court upholds President Trump's administration's travel ban, and Justice Anthony Kennedy yesterday announced his retirement from the U.S. Supreme Court effective July 31st. In state news, Oklahoma's voted to approve the state-sanctioned use of medical marijuana, and in the Oklahoma governor's race, Mick Cornett and Kevin Stitt advanced to runoff for the GOP nomination, while Drew Edmondson secures the Democratic nomination. In sports, yesterday, Game 2 of the College World Series, Oregon State gets the win over Arkansas 5-3. Game 3 will be tonight. Here's a fun fact. Oklahoma City has an American Pigeon Museum. It provides history of the bird's role in both World Wars I and II and includes pigeon-themed paintings, sculptures, and live flight shows. And on this day in history, in 1953, workers assembled the first ever Corvette in Flint, Michigan. And that's the Oklahoma Minute.
Who said this was not an educational program? Well, to my immediate left is Johnetta Washington. She's, we'll find out what grade she, I think you said sophomore at NOC here in Enid. And then to my far left is Isaac Sanderson from the big city of Canton, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
And they serve as our interns this summer. Isaac is in the accounting department, and I believe Johnetta is used in every department. She's with Stephanie Carr, I believe, with some of the grants and things of this nature. So both of you, welcome. Johnetta, we'll start with you. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. Understand you have a few brothers and sisters?
Yes, I do. I'm from Enid, Oklahoma, born and raised. I am attending NOC in the fall. I just got done with my summer classes, which was hectic, but I made it through. I just working 2 jobs and having a good summer.
And you're the youngest of how many brothers and sisters you told me?
There's 10 of us.
There's 10 of us.
Yes.
Now that's enough for a volleyball team or a flag football team, that's for sure. So very good. And so that's NOC at the campus here in Enid.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
All right, Isaac, how about you? I think you're going to school down in Oklahoma City?
Yes,
or
sir.
Edmond?
I go to school at Oklahoma Christian University. I'm actually a senior this year. I graduated in April. And I'm from, as you said, Canton, Oklahoma. I live out there on the farm and been out there all my life, born and raised.
Isaac, when you say on the farm, tell us about the farm. Is it wheat? Is it cattle? Is it all of the above?
I would
what's
say
the
it's
farm?
all of the above.
Okay.
It's we raise wheat. We also have cattle. We raise Angus and Charlet, and then I've
Okay.
also got some chickens.
Okay,
So farm raised eggs. That's the best you can get right there.
yeah. Charlets get to be big, right?
Yes, sir.
Very big. I mean, even when you drive by on the highway and see them in the pasture, you're thinking, if they look big from this distance, they must be really big and up close and everything. So, Johnetta, let me ask you, career plans. I know right now school is in front of you and that's all you can see, but if you were to place yourself 10 years down the road, where would that be?
If I could place myself where I wanted to be, I would be on stage singing for people.
On stage singing,
It's been my goal and dream since I was little, and to follow what my mom used to do.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Maybe we can have you sing as we go off the air today. We'll see if we got time for that. And Isaac, how about you? 10 years, 20 years down the road, you're going to say, this is where I plan to be.
Well, my hope is in 10 to 20 years, I'm going to be back kind of living by the farm and helping run it. And I hope to one day maybe get my own CPA firm or place there in town and help people do their taxes. And then I also preach. I hope to be a preacher at a local congregation. I like to do that and, try to help others out and serve others.
Okay, very good. Well, we'll have more with our interns in just a moment. And again, you can reach out to the City of Enid to learn about our intern program, something that maybe your children or grandchildren want to be a part of. It's 7:55 and it's time now for our Adopt a Pet. We get to learn about Liberty. Liberty is the pet that needs a new home, and let's watch that right now.
Liberty. Liberty is in Penn 22, and she is a 2-year-old female shepherd mix. She is really sweet and lovable, and she needs somebody who will give her lots of attention and lots of love. So come by the shelter and meet Liberty.
Liberty is a good-looking dog. It looks like if you have a home with a big yard, Liberty would be for you, so Liberty could run. We appreciate Charlet, Ringwald, and all the work that she does, and also everybody out at Animal Control. If you're able to stay with us at 8 o'clock this morning, I had the privilege to sit down and kind of get a recap of the legislative session this past year with Representative Chad Caldwell, and that will play at 8 o'clock here on the Enid Television Network. So Chad's a local individual from Enid, and it's a great insight into what took place in the legislature this past year. Well, we have just a couple minutes, and again, our special guests, Johnetta Washington and Isaac Sanderson. Johnetta, how would you define this mentorship or the intern experience? How would you tell people what it's about for you here at City of Enid, even though it's been just a couple weeks?
Yes, I love it personally. I did not know about CDBG before I started working here, and whenever I got into it, I realized that Stephanie has been helping organizations that I went to when I was younger.
Okay.
And so I really love that about her and the organization and the company.
And the heart and the intent for the City of Enid is to get as much exposure to real-world experiences as an intern. Yeah. That's why you're here this morning, and that's why we're going to go to the radio station later today and do some other things. Isaac, how about you? You're in a big, fancy office, a big desk, and you have your own television in there?
Yes, sir.
So how's the experience for you?
The experience has been great, getting to learn a lot of stuff, especially in the governmental accounting side. I'd never really done anything with that before. We really focus more on, the other side of accounting there at OC, so this is a very good experience, and work with some great people, and they have a lot of knowledge, and I can learn a lot of stuff from them.
Okay. We have just about 45 seconds left. Oklahoma Christian University, how would you describe your school experience?
I'd say my school experience has been great. I have a lot of fun, a lot of friends. I'm actually part of a social club, Kappa Sigma Tau, and I get to play intramural sports, football, softball, and basketball. Okay. So get to stay young as long as possible.
Yeah. Well, my fraternity was I ate a Bama pie. Remember that? No, guess not. Very bad joke. I'm sorry. Bama pie used to be a real popular candy. Well, anyway, Johnetta, real quick. NOC Enid has been what type of experience for you?
Great. Honestly, it's like family, and they're there to help you. They are there for your success.
Very good. Well, thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
We have to go on, so appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Make it a great day, everyone. Good morning, Enid.